Up, guys? B-Boy Vinzel, aka Vince Ryder, or Vince Ryder, aka B-Boy Vinzel. I have no idea where to put this. It's a viral topic, but usually I talk about all my dance stuff on my second channel. Yes, I have a second channel that specifically talks about breakdancing, and here I am talking about it in this channel, but I'm putting it in both because I'm lost at this point. Penguinsy freaking Moist Critical talked about it. Brett Cooper talked about it. I know, like, what is it? Double Toasted talked about it. And one of my channels that I'm subscribed that are usually not within my other channel that I subscribe to, a lot of hip hop stuff, a lot of urban stuff, a lot of, in terms of like outside and also Christian content. That, yeah, it's pretty much like I can't believe that, within this channel that, whether I put in it in my main channel, which is Vince Ryder, um, people that I'm subscribed to are actually talking about this, and it's as if this is a viral thing. If this was, if there was like some gaming, even some gaming news that I'm subscribed to are talking about this. Everyone's talking about this. They even mention it, and people know what they're talking about. It's a viral thing. It's beyond a big thing, and who's better to talk about it other than an actual b-boy that is not really the best, but still I had my moments when I was in the culture or battling, because battling was the aspect of, I guess, hip hop that I was introduced, and also within dancing or breakdancing. And I don't like to over introduce myself when it comes to breaking. If people don't know me, I usually, tell them about other stuff that I'm into, and, breaking, you kind of really have to know me. So a lot of times, yeah, even my family members have no idea about my history in dance, in history with breakdancing, even like decades, because I've been doing it for decades. I started rolling around when I first, was a toddler back in 2005, discovering this big competition called Red Bull BC1, and that was the best introduction of, b-boying or breaking that happens to be part of like history of just based, of made me who I am. My whole entire attitude, the way I dress, the way I think, the way I act, just basically who I am, especially, growing up in the projects. Breakdancing was kind of like implemented in all of that. So basically it's everything. It's kind of like my family that now is embarrassing themselves in front of the whole entire world to see. And it's sad because the whole entire world doesn't even care about like the cool stuff that happened in the competition. They only care about Raygun, this Australian woman that competed, and pretty much how did she get through all the prelims and stuff like that? How did she get through all the qualifications that the Olympics been holding up? Like, I don't know. I don't know how she end up in this pedestal, and basically in this stage, and then you just have the whole entire people that don't know about breaking. Because here's the thing about the internet: they pick out the, with every big audience or just big production show, whatever you may call it. And it's the same thing with, like, like in the Grammys, and the only highlight is the one highlight, Will Smith smacking Chris Rock, but no one cares about the freaking awards. No one cares about like everything. No one cares about like this or that, the jokes that the host said, or just anything else. They just only care about that one thing. And unfortunately, that's literally what's happening here with, Big O Raygun, which is her name because her name is Rachel Gunn. It's not too impressive. Raygun, Rachel Gunn, whatever. And yeah, she pretty much like is the main highlight, other than all like the gold medalist, the silver medalist, and the fact that breaking is making its first debut in the Olympics, and the fact that, Snoop Dogg blessed the floor to actually watch the whole thing, as, all the other b-boys and b-girls, and basically just this unity of hip hop in the Olympics. Snoop was there, freaking, Terry Crews was there. I think other rappers were talking about it. Other like hip hop news outlets were also talking about it, watching it, tuning in, and watching all the battles. And one of the best breakdancers in the world was there, from Ami from Japan. You got, like, this Lithuanian, little girl with do-rag that is just killing it. And logistics that I've been seeing for a while that's also there. And you also have the b-boy, qualifications, like that uproar that happened with, this Japanese kid going up against this American, which is Victor. And the whole battles and everything. But no one cares about that because they all freaking care about the ray gun. I'm one thing I just am tired of is that when it comes down to break, because people, especially the old folks, you old folks out there, okay? I don't have a lot of old folks in my audience, but you oldies, and I'm talking about like almost 80, you're about to hit in the freaking Joe Biden deadline right here. It's talking about like, oh, it takes skill. And like, I will never forget, there was this news outlet that was talking about this Raygun, because who isn't talking about it? Like saying that, oh, it takes real skill to actually get into, compared to at least with ballet, it takes real skill or something, instead of, and pretty much thank goodness that the host was there, because there was like five people in that news outlet table, and at least there was a person there that was saying like, what are you talking about, like, just interrupt him, and like saying like, what are you talking about, like, it takes more skill in breakdancing, which is true. It takes beyond more skill. If you don't, here's the thing, people that are not part of the culture are just out of nowhere just getting into this. But you got some people that once breakdance, that were breakdance. I didn't know that Moist Critical was a breakdancer in the past. I did not know that. But he is now, just literally from that information of him sharing, like, what he did in the past and his interest. And I was like, oh, that's cool. He apparently breakdance. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that about him. And yeah, he was also talking about this whole thing, and pretty much he said better, like, no one else is talking about like the dope stuff, but they just want to talk about this one thing. And I thought it was like other content creators that are like Instagram that actually mentioned this better. But it seems like other people that are like have millions of subscribers, millions of followers, are also talking about it as well. And thank goodness they are, because the thing is that one thing we gotta keep in mind is that the cool stuff is there. It's a cool art form. It's freaking, like, come on. I get that, it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense that breakdancing is not gonna be in the freaking 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. Like, there's nothing more like, American or hip hop than actually having it and where it was born. Okay, I'm not supposed to be the one educating on you this. Okay, I here I am in this channel where, like, I'm a nobody. But if you're watching this from the Vince Ryder channel, then I'm just a queer anime content creator, and here I am talking about breakdancing because it's a big deal. It's in the freaking Olympics, and we just had one shine, but it only takes one person that they freaking pull out all the ammo for, and they just shot this one person out of the blue, which was Raygun, and then just like, she's the only one getting the most attention, and it's just heartbreaking, especially in her own community. I see people, and I follow a lot of b-boys and b-girls that actually talk about this. A lot of people in hip-hop talk about this, and they're even shredding her up, and then you got the people that don't know about breaking that are saying that this is a waste of time, that basically have no idea what they're talking about, because they have probably never seen an actual flare, an actual air flare, moves, freaking top rock, freaking just footwork, just freaking dance move. You see dance move all freaking day in freaking TikTok, but you don't see it. And when it comes down to this art form, which is the hardest dance in the world, like, you understand what a freaking torpedo is, or like a windmill to the air, or like an air flare or a double air flare. Like, you just understand, or just an air chair in general, and tell me if you can do that. All right, show me if you can do that. I'm talking to you, old man, in the freaking news, over 80, probably in his deathbed. Let me see you do that. Talking about it takes skill. Get out of here. Like, I swear, like, what are you trying to compare that to ballerina? Like, seriously, it takes skill. Ballerina, the same thing with, it takes skill in breaking. It takes beyond more skill than other dances out there, especially in front of an audience and going head to head, because it is a battle dance. I want people to understand breaking is, like, I'm very passionate with it, okay? Like, yes, I kind of fall off with hip hop over the years and stuff because I've been focusing on other things. And music's, pretty much, I do follow music in a sense, mostly Latin and Afrobeat. Those are my faves. But when it comes down to like hip hop, I couldn't really, a lot of times I'm just not into it compared to how I was when I was younger. But the only part of hip hop that is real is breaking. And here's the thing about breaking within hip hop is that it's the only positive form of hip hop that we'll ever have. Understand that every other sense of hip hop, when it comes to drinking, sex, and drugs, and guns, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that representation of hip hop because it ruins other people's when it comes down. Because not everybody grew up in the hood. Not everybody wants to be part of the hood. Not everybody wants that lifestyle. Do you want that lifestyle? You don't. You don't. I've been there. You don't want that lifestyle. You don't want to wake up every morning and okay, you don't want that. You don't want that energy. Okay? Because many people just wants to live in a peaceful lives. We just want to be living a peaceful lives. And we don't want the freaking demons out there shooting up people for no reason. And you call that hip hop? That is not hip hop. That is not. Okay, real hip hop is getting together, unity, having fun, love, and just peace, and just like that's what it's supposed to be, at least in my sense. Or maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe it is about guns and drugs and boom, boom, all that. I got this girl, ooh, me, ooh, money, money. Look at my Rolex. Stupid. No wonder I have no interest in hip hop like I used to, because that stuff is just oversaturated. It's not about smoking weed and stuff like that. And whatever. They can make music about that for days, and I guess that's what pays the bills, okay? But this is the only positive form of hip hop. When it comes down to breakdancing, when it comes down to breaking, when it comes down to just, the B-boys and B-girls surrounding all the other 4 elements and 5 elements, however elements in hip-hop, coming together. And that's what I want. The same thing, I complain the same thing when it comes down to just, I guess, any form of music or any form of anything. Like in the gaming community, I don't want people doxing anyone. I don't want trolls existing. But we basically have to live with that. We have to live with that. Especially with business practices, with overinflation of games. Sometimes we just want to play a game with our own community and just have fun and just be united and just live an innocent life, a peaceful life of just us playing some good old Titanfall. Freaking like Tomb Raider. Street Fighter, anything, okay? Whatever Mario that is, up in your pants. Like we playing that right now. And I guess there's no peace at all for anything because people just find ways to actually make things funny when it isn't. Sometimes it gets to a point where it's like just stop. The joke is getting old. And I seen what Raygun is going through, like just the amount of just like wrong attention that she's getting. I can't imagine this for her mental health. She sucks. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I don't know how she was qualified, but I hate how the community is paying the price when we don't pay no price. We didn't do anything, but for whatever reason, when nowadays, and I hate it when it comes to this. Like, if I tell people, like, yeah, I'm a b-boy, I'm a break dancer, and they're going to point out about the freaking Australian girl named Raygun, and they ask me who's that. They ask me, like, like Raygun? And that's when I try to hold myself not to smack somebody, and I was like, who? You, really? Raygun? No, we ain't going to talk about Jilu. We ain't talking about logistics. We ain't talking about the Queen Maka, these amazing B-girls from around the world. But you just choose this one B-girl that is basically harassed online. And the amount of, attention that she doesn't want, even though she's not good, you want me, what about her? What about her? I will hate that moment. And I will yell at their face, this is more than, you don't know. You're from people from the outside. They don't know the culture. They don't know what goes on within this dance that has been struggling for the longest time. I have seen the history. I have seen, and I'm not the best person to talk about it. I know I'm not old enough to actually be around in the freaking 80s or 90s or whatever to tell them oh man, back in my day, stuff like that, this happened, that happened. Listen, I don't know. I'm 28. What do you want from me when it comes down talking about the whole breaking thing and actually just sharing you what I see in terms of how it started. I wasn't even alive back then, okay? But I hate how this whole breaking is just teared up because of one girl, because of one moment, because of this and that. And I know there's smart people out there, and I believe that the internet is smart enough to know that this is just it's tiring. It's a fad, okay, but I just want to, there's a part of me, every freaking TikTok clip, every clip on YouTube, every news outlet talking about this, there's a part of me where I want to showcase them the realists, but I'm not qualified for that because I got out the hood like a long time ago, travel overseas, freaking studied overseas, and here I am back in the US of A. And pretty much like I'm not the best to qualify to talk about it, especially like they probably want to hear somebody a bit older or something. Like I don't know. Like when it comes down to me, like I'm not really like I really, just I'm just ranting basically. I'm just here talking about it because I love breaking. I love that aspect of hip hop that, and because of things that there's a good reason for everything or something like that. That there was some people, I guess there's, that one bad apple that just fall out or whack apple because from, and there's no hate to Raygun. It's just that I feel like she is just not ready. I'm not ready. Shoot, I would not be in the Olympics. Now thinking about it, I probably was thinking of competing this year, going back to doing battles again, and now I'm not confident because like I'm no better than her. Like if you see me break or something, I'm only good on top rocks. But man, like what does this inspire people? Like what does this tell people? Like man, just be ready when you're ready. If you're ready to do power and stuff like that, do people find dope stuff boring? I guess that's the reality we live in. Only people talk about like the reason why, like, what is it? The Borderlands movie, the new movie came out, which is from Borderlands, the video game. It came, and pretty much people are talking about it because, well, it's a sucky movie. From what I heard, it's a bad movie. I guess that's the thing. Negativity kind of flows within the amount of people's eyes to see it, and a lot of people talk about it, and now it's popular. And I guess the most popular B girl right now in the freaking world, or just popular breakdancer in the world, as much as I hate to say it, it's Raygun, and that's just not fair. There is a whole entire history of hip hop. It's a battle dance. You wouldn't even like survive actually going like saying whatever you're saying online with these trolls online saying about Raygun to an actual real b-boy b-girl because people are just almighty and they're just a different person online. And I totally get the argument like yeah, she sucks, and I agree, but at the same time she doesn't deserve this. Like it's just like, can you imagine if like other b-boys and b-girls were like not the most dynamic and not the most like aggressive were also there? Like I'm just imagining like Bruce Almighty or Uzi Rock, or like Nasty Ray, like these b-boys that are funny and they kind of like flow in their own pace. Like can you imagine of them getting called out like Chorito, especially what he's going through? If b-boy Chorito, like he even had a friend like that sadly passed away, and then him being the stage, people are gonna call out of just like how unorthodox his moveset, or just like b-girl casted another b-girl that is white, that is also pretty much has a very unorthodox style, weird style, kind of like Raygun, but at least a bit more doper and a flowier. But it's like, man, I guess we have to be careful. We have to be dope. We have to be more ready than we are. And I don't know. Listen, there's a lot of conversations around this, and I just got to end this because I'm getting a freaking headache. Because I guess I've been yelling too much of just like in the freaking air about this. But this dance is everything to me. It's my, it's my only exercise. It's the only way for me to express myself more, better. And it has influenced me a lot as the man I am today. But other than that, I don't even know anymore. It's just that everyone wants to talk about Raygun. Everybody expects me to troll on Raygun. Like, what you want from me? Anyways, I'm out of these streets. One love and a peace. God bless.